Coming to you live from the beautiful town of Lahaina, Hawaii. Here we are on Front Street. And as you can see, it's still completely shut off, closed to the public, cannot enter. Matter of fact, Governor Green just got done signing another extension to the emergency proclamation as it pertains to wildfires. So the emergency proclamations are still in effect, believe it or not, and you still cannot access the town of Lahaina where the commercial businesses were and Front Street. I'm on the south end of Front Street right now, but the good news is this: Lahaina Shores is finally open for business. All the fire remediation has occurred, and I'm going to take you there right now. As a matter of fact, I've got my little buddy with me right here. If you're new to the channel, I'm the crazy guy that likes to cruise around on the one wheel and show you stuff just the way it is, the way it's happening, the truth, unfiltered. But hopefully you'll get inspired when you watch this video to come support this beautiful little beach town community and come stay at Lahaina Shores. I'm going to show you my little buddy here just so you see what's going on. There he is. And where am I located right now? This is what used to be the 505. Matter of fact, my very first real estate office was right over there. And I lived down on Front Street, 350 Front Street. And I used to walk the beach to my office here at the 505 and sold real estate right out of this 505. Amazing little shopping center. Loved it. Unfortunately, it did succumb to the fire. And but Lahaina Shores right next door, the iconic Lahaina Shores, one of the tallest structures in Lahaina, survived, thankfully. Newly repainted, new air conditioner condensers inside of the rooms, new hallway, carpet. The place looks amazing. And matter of fact, we're getting ready to sell potentially a unit inside of there, so keep an eye out for that. I can't talk much about that, but just keep an eye out for it. There have been, I think, 12 sales in the building since the fire, and the oceanfront units are going for around $600, about half price or more. And then the Mountain View units are going for about, $300 to $400, so about half off on those as well. So I believe some of the most incredible deals that you're going to find. Why? Because they're probably not going to allow people to rebuild on the ocean. So these hotel zone condos that are right on the ocean, I don't think should be selling at a discount at all, but they are. So I think it's a great opportunity. But let's take a look around real quick, and I'll give you a quick walking tour of what I can show you. Obviously, I'd love to take you into Lahaina proper, but the barriers are still up, so can't do it. There is one spot where you can access the surf break at the harbor. So they have a parking area where you can walk in. And I think you've probably seen some of those videos. If you haven't, look in the history of my lives and you'll see I have gone and shown that area. But this is also just to bring you into remembrance. This is where the Feast at Lele, a very good luau was. Pacifica, the restaurant. Shout out to Louis and his crew. One of the best two restaurants, I think, on Maui. And Betty's Beach Cafe was right here as well, as was Spanky's, the bar right there was Spanky's. Yes, sir. And my office was right above Spanky's. I'm telling you what, it was party central. Ah, the good old days. But here we are, Lahaina Shores. Thank God it's standing, and I believe you can support Lahaina by coming here. Obviously, the state, the county, the governor is doing everything in their power to discourage people from coming here, trying to kill tourism, which is, of course, the backbone of the economy. And so we definitely need you to come and visit. And I believe Lahaina Shores is a great place to start. It is right on the water, and it's been completely redone. It doesn't smell like smoke or anything. It smells really good actually inside. So let's go take a quick peek, shall we? In the comments section, let me know, have you ever stayed at Lahaina Shores? Do you own a unit at Lahaina Shores? Nice little, I'm surprised that this one survived. Pretty cool. They're made out of wood, I think. Hey, how's it? So here's the beautiful lobby. And it basically looks exactly the same as it did. The major difference would be, I think this carpet I think is new. And that carpet is all throughout the I'm pretty sure it is. I have to go back and look at some of my old videos. This is obviously where the concierge sits. Beautiful pool and the landscape. The hot tub over is not quite opened yet, but they tell me it will be very soon. And of course, one of the few condos that you can buy that's not just hotel zone, but also has a sandy beach, which is very sought after. If you can ever find a condo on Maui that isn't just oceanfront, but also a sandy beach. And this is the best of all worlds because you can swim it because the reef is out there where the waves are breaking. Nice swell coming in today, by the way, for all your surfers. This is your official surf report. Yeah, get out here now, man. It's happening. But because the reef's out there, you can swim on the inside. So it's a great swimming beach, as is being testified by Rover down there. Go boy. Oh man. And of course, on top of all of that, you have some of the best surf breaks on the west side of Maui. You have 505 surf break, which is right over there, and then past that is the harbor. So in terms of aquatic fun activities, it just doesn't get any better. I mean, in my humble opinion, it's hard to find a beach that's got more options than this. And over here is another surf break called Shark Pit. They call it Shark Pit because there are, in fact, some local sharks that live right in the area of that surf break, and you kind of see them every time you go out surfing. They're nice sharks. They don't eat you, but not very often anyway. Here you can see someone's taking advantage of that beautiful Lahaina sun, saving on their dryer bill, I guess. It's probably technically against the house rules, but we'll probably let them slide. But there's the hot tub. Nice little hot tub, yeah. I've spent a couple nights in there with my boys back in the day. Yeah, I will admit we pool hop this occasionally. So there's a quick shot. Now, if I go upstairs and show you one of the rooms, I might lose you in the elevator, but I think I might give it a shot, just for the heck of it. What do you think? Should we try it? All right, you talked me into it. I might lose you in the elevator, but we'll try. Because I want you guys to see the new hallways. They're really nice. And also to get a view of the West Maui's from the mountainside condos is really amazing. So you can't go wrong in any of these because you either have that beautiful oceanfront view or you've got the mountain view. All right, let's see how we do in the elevator here. Nice elevator. I think it's important to look at the quality of the elevator personally. Some nice wood, got some tile on the floor. The elevator's fast, efficient. And here we go. Look at the renewed hallway with the nice carpet. Got some beautiful paddles there. There is laundry, in case you want to do some laundry. There's no laundry in the units, but you do have a couple laundry wash dryer machines there. All of the refrigerant out of Lahaina Shores because of the fire. I think they were compromised with the smell and whatnot. All right, here we go. Hey, you mind if I come in?
Come on in.
All right, this is Colton. He's been busy in here. You guys know this, but Colton is now one of the primary photographers for My Perfect Stays. So it's really good to see him getting all kinds of photography work because he is the best in the business. Colton, anything you want to say to the people?
You guys are gonna be super excited to see what video we produce.
I can't wait to see it either, man.
Yeah, me too.
He's got all the skills and all the good stuff too, the high-end equipment, right?
Yeah, this stuff makes it easy.
Yeah, but you're very talented, Colton. Good job. So here we go. Here's a quick shot of what we're talking about when you have a mountain view condo at Lahaina Shores. I just want you to imagine for just a moment, just kicking back and taking in the West Maui mountain view right there. And then a beautiful day today, by the way, guys. Just a gorgeous, glorious Sunday. And you get a lot of rainbows spawn right here in this little, I don't know what that valley's called. Is that Kahoma? I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. But man, today you don't usually see all the way back in there. It's usually shrouded in clouds. Obviously, Mauna Kahalavai, the wettest spot in Hawaii, second rainiest spot in the world. Obviously, it's dry on this side because all the rain drops up there, but that's the water that we use to irrigate the people and the farms and the hotels and the golf courses. Over here, we have the beautiful neighborhood of Lahaina Maui. Matter of fact, I can actually zoom in, I think. Hang on a second. On that property right there, I actually have that property on the market right there. Go to epicwestmaui.com. There's a beautiful home, man, right there. Shout out to epicwestmaui.com. It's the king of the hill, king of the Lahaina Maui Hill. Beautiful West Maui Mountains. And yeah, we're gonna head back down and give you guys a quick tour of what I can show you down on the areas of Front Street that I can access. But we'll take a quick look at the rest of this unit and then we'll head back downstairs. I'm glad to see, I think we kept the connection going in the elevator. These are just really, like, what more can you ask for? Just a nice big king bed. If I lived here full time, of course, I'd probably make that into maybe a Murphy, but for guests that are coming here, you know, you don't really spend that much time in your unit, you're usually out there having fun, adventuring and traveling around the island, going to Hana, going surfing, but it does have the obligatory granite countertops here. And the nice oversized sink, stainless steel microwave and stove. The refrigerator's coming. That's on order. Nice cabinets. As I mentioned earlier, they replaced all these, so brand new AC units in each one of the units here at Lahaina Shores. Nice matching granite there, and of course a full bath tub here. And a quick shout out in the comments, if you wouldn't mind, for Lisa. You should have seen this unit a few days ago. It was looking a little rough, huh, Colton?
Oh,
but she
goodness.
staged it up and got all the special touches going on. Wow. Nice job, Lisa. Thank you for your efforts. Colton, thank you for your efforts, as always.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're a hammer.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work. All right, guys, let's continue it downstairs on our quick little tour down the section that our green will allow us to see. King green. So in the comment section, I'd love to know, have you guys ever stayed here at Lahaina Shores? When you come to Maui, where do you typically stay? I know it's like homing pigeons. You sort of have your special spot that you like to go to, and you kind of come back year in and year out. So let me know, what is that spot that you'd like to go to? You going down?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right. Oh, that smells good. The mojito?
No, it's a Mai Tai.
Oh, it's a Mai
That
Tai.
one's got some passion fruit in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that smells very good. Well, cheers.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, and now obviously this is the lobby once again, and you can see some nice, I love a lot of the cultural artwork and art pieces that they have on the property. And it just absolutely seems like it always did, just perfect. Very nice. Boy, those Mai Tais did smell pretty good though. Even though I don't drink anymore, just the smell of fresh squeezed anything, I'm in. But there was that little bit of hint of rum in the air. All right, guys, let's go. As always, if you enjoy content like this, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. The shadow ban is real, unfortunately. Don't ask me why. Well, we know why. Because they don't want the truth to get out, but they can't stop it. You can run, but you can't hide. Truth always comes out in the end, right? All right, guys, so here we are. We'll take a quick jaunt down. This is the south end of Front Street. And you'll start to see a few homes that are getting rebuilt. Obviously, all of them are on the Mauka or mountain side of Front Street. And there are the fortunate few that survived, like this beautiful large home that was just constructed before the fire. One of my favorites actually on Maui. It's a great lot, and that home did survive, which is fantastic. You can see almost a temporary structure that these folks are doing. And then this home up here, gorgeous, gorgeous home that just got built. Nice big covered lanai, 2-story. I'm assuming they've got a pretty nice view of the ocean, I would guess. How's it? Really, it looks like they're getting pretty close to being done. A couple hot tubs in the front lanai, that's cool. This home over here, it survived, another gorgeous, newer build home. And then this smaller cottage, it survived. And then this recently built modern structure also survived the fire. So this little enclave right here got pretty fortunate when pretty much everything around it, unfortunately, did succumb to the flames. You can see there's a new constructed home going up right there. So that's 2 we've counted so far on Front Street. I'll kind of keep the camera panning back and forth so you can kind of get a sense of everything going on both sides of the street. As I mentioned earlier, nothing has started to be rebuilt on the ocean side of the home, of Front Street. No homes have been issued permits on the ocean front. On the Malco Mountain side, obviously, they did get some SMA exemptions, but they didn't have to go through the full SMA process. So you can see that home's coming along nicely. Another 2-story. I don't blame them going up and for the view. That was pretty cool that old plantation house survived, right? It's probably single wall construction from the 50s. That's Jim Neighbor's house back there, back in the day. Obviously he doesn't own it anymore, but Jim Neighbor's house right on the water there, it survived the fire. But pretty much everything else from here on down is going to be empty lots. And this is actually where I used to live right here. There's the little bean pool in the back with the fence around. This is 350 Front Street. That's where we lived when we first moved to Hawaii, moved to Maui. That was a nice little holiday. 2 ohanas, little bean pool. A lot of good memories there. This was the concrete house. This was 100% concrete, this home. 100% concrete, like literally, there wasn't a stick of wood. And it survived the fire, but then I was told by the owner that it was taken down, even though he did not give them permission to remove the home. Longy's house, I believe, was right here. I think this was Longy's oceanfront home. That one caught fire actually one time while I was walking the beach. Used to go drink coffee at 6 o'clock in the morning. I noticed smoke coming out of the top of Longy's house and called the fire department, 911, and went and knocked on all the doors and got everybody out. Fire was put out. This was probably been 2012, I would guess. You can see that's a newly constructed home right there. Another one back there. So we're up to 4 that we can see here from Front Street. And then here's number 5, I believe. This is, of course, the infamous red roofed house that survived the fire. Everything around it burned. This is the one that made the news. Very cute little plantation style home. Another home being constructed back there. Is that number 6 maybe? This one's got the foundation poured, number 7. Again, nothing on the ocean front. I used to, it's pretty funny, I was friends with Bobby Powers and he lived in this home and I rented the lanai from him so I could work on the lanai every day. And I paid him, pretty small sum, but mainly paid him in cases of beer. But I'd sit right out there and work. Oh man, what a sweet spot. We had a chance to rent the house after Bobby moved out, but couldn't talk the wife into it. Oh well, I tried. Puamana up here on the right. And you can see some of the structures that burned here. Those were all Puamana homes. None of those appear to be being rebuilt yet. Not too sure what the status is of Puamana and the rebuild of those units. I'm not seeing anything going up. Most of them burned right over here. And of course the main clubhouse, that's gone. Don't see any signs of construction in Puamana. Let me know in the comments if you're aware of anything. Beautiful Puamana. Oh man. A buddy of mine moved in there right after I moved to Maui, and he had an oceanfront Puamana house. I was like so jealous. I was just dripping with envy. Good job. He scored. We're both looking for places to rent at the same time. So I said, hey man, instead of us competing, you go find your place and then I'll find mine. So anyway, he found a Puamana house. And then I found the one on Front Street, so that wasn't too bad. There's one going up back there. I believe that's my buddy Ken. He was on the channel right after the fire. Looks like he's putting up a nice 2-story house. Was a 1-story before. See, a lot of 2 stories going up. So is that, are we on number 8, I believe? Then we have 9 back there. 10. This one looks like it's about done. Cool. You know, what's going to be so cool about this is when it's all said and done, just a bunch of beautiful brand new homes. It's going to look like a neighborhood in Kanapali or Kapalua or Wailea, you know. So right now everyone's a little bit negative and down on real estate. But guess what? The smart money comes in right now. As a matter of fact, you're seeing the high-end homes start to move. A $16 million oceanfront home just sold. West Maui, another one for 10 and change sold right south of Alailoa. So I saw the same thing during COVID. You know, during COVID, everybody was convinced that the sky was falling, the real estate market was crashing, and nobody was, buying anything. But in reality, the smart money was slowly acquiring, making acquisitions, and they ended up being the smartest investors, because who would know just a few years later, after COVID was over and the world was released back onto its own, recognizance, if you will, without the authoritarian state lying to them about why they couldn't travel or they needed this shot or that shot, the scam of the century, that real estate boomed like crazy. I think the same thing is going to happen right here. So if you have got some vision, you can take advantage of what appears to be a down market for sure, but you can see what the future is going to hold is going to be the rising tide lifts all ships. And I believe Lahaina will be rebirthed in a lot of beautiful, beautiful real estate. And you can see it starting to happen. And I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited that these people, what are we at, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12 homes we've seen so far, are able to get their permits and start the rebuilding process. Don't understand why they can't do the same thing for the oceanfront people. Quite shocking. And or the business owners. You know, I know a number of individuals that own businesses on Front Street, and quite frankly, they're frustrated, and they're out of business, and will be for the foreseeable future, for a long foreseeable future, when in my opinion they should have been issued those permits a long time ago. And the oceanfront homeowners, why would they be being discriminated against? That doesn't seem like it's legal that you could issue these people permits to build their home, yet the oceanfront people can't. That doesn't sound like fair play to me. So that kind of stuff is really a bummer, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. And how long do you think the county and the government can get away with this? I don't know. So here we're going back down Front Street. I'm not going to go all the way back to Lahaina Shores this way. I will cut into what's called the Shark Pit neighborhood, Ilikahi, one of my favorite neighborhoods. That's the cool thing about, living in a community and selling real estate, quite frankly, because you get to see so many amazing properties and so many cool things, and you get to see things evolve and change. And so I remember a bed and breakfast that was on the market on Ilikahi that I almost had under contract. Didn't quite happen, but it had these beautiful little, one room kind of bed and breakfast vibe. It was really cool. So I really fell in love with that part of the Front Street community, because those homes were always a little bit less expensive than the ones right here on Front Street. But here's the little cut-in that they would take to get to Front Street, to get to the beach, to get to the beach walk, to get to the surf breaks. And it's Shark Pit, man. It's Shark Pit. Named after the surf break, of course. So here we go. We're coming up on the Shark Pit neighborhood. Let's see what's being rebuilt back in there. Just a gorgeous Sunday, man. It's just one of those Sundays where there's a little sparkle in the air, a little glory of God just floating around in the magical molecules of Maui. All right, here we go. So if you remember this neighborhood, there was this kind of a, not the nicest house right there, but this was always gated, so you couldn't really drive from this neighborhood to Front Street. I don't know why they did that. I always thought that was kind of unfair. But here you can see a beautiful home being rebuilt right there. I wonder if they'll gate off Ilikahi Shark Pit again. Who knows? So this is Ilikahi Street right here. You can still see there's, people that are living in their campers down here. Nothing appears to have been started there as far as the foundation. But here you can see this home, single level. And then another one right across the street. Foundation is in. What are we at, like 14? It's kind of hard to one-wheel talk and count at the same time. Another one here. Foundation. I mean, it's encouraging, man. It's nice to see progress being made. Shout out Beach Builds Maui. Got lots of good guys down here working, lots of good jobs, keeping everybody busy. Looks like they got a nice wall put up. Not too sure what's going on in there, but my guess is there's probably a foundation going in there. ACC of Hawaii. This home looks like it's pretty much done. Across the street, got some empty lots. And then we're gonna pop out on this video over on Shaw Street, and that'll lead us back. Well, maybe we'll head down towards the Catholic Church. Why not, right? This is a walking tour update, Lahaina, August 2025. In the comments section, what are you thinking? Are you feeling as optimistic as I am? I'm feeling optimistic today, man. I'm feeling good. Feeling like it's nice to see all this progress and all these homes going up. I can't wait to see the community move back in, and for kids to be going to school again at some point, walking around, playing. That home's looking pretty tight, looking good. Progress is being made. Not too much down this street I can see, so I'm just gonna turn around right here. Ooh. And yes, I will tell you, it's that Lahaina cruel sun, man. This shirt right now, it's like absorbing, right? I do sauna every day, so this is a good preparation for hanging out in Lahaina town in a black shirt made of polyester. But yeah, the sweat is flowing. It's all good. Another beautiful home. Look at the size of this one, man. Go big and go home. That's a big house. Look at the span. Wow. The fact that that house survived is like, are you kidding me? It's like, I guess it is made of cinder blocks. I guess that's the key, maybe. But you can still see there's lots of lots that have not been touched. Nothing. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder why. What's the story? The story behind every lot. This home survived. 427 Waianae Street. Looks like really nothing else at the end of this street. Looks like they starting to clear a lot right there, maybe for a foundation. And that's obviously Honopi'ilani Highway right there behind that wall. Just to give you a sense of direction. now we'll head down towards Maria Lanikia, the church, and we'll just kind of check that out. See if anything's going on with Aina Nalu. There wasn't many condos that burned, but Aina Nalu was one of them, unfortunately. One of my favorite condominium complexes on Maui. I know it was a big fan favorite, especially the Europeans. They love to stay in places where they don't have to rent cars and they can just walk. It's one of the reasons Ilikahi Bed and Breakfast did so well, is because a lot of Europeans stayed there. They could just walk to all of the front street attractions, the beaches, and not have to rent a car. So that's definitely one of the nice things about Lahaina town. So when this town does come back, and that's part of my concern, I'll be honest with you, is like, hey, you got to bring the businesses back, right? You got to bring back the restaurants, the charm, the shops. You know, that's part of the attraction, right? Can't just be a bedroom community. Sorry about that. My gimbal eventually gets too hot in the Lahaina sun. So here we are. I'll just handhold from now on. Here we are at the corner of Shah, Waine'i, and this is the Lahaina Baptist Church. If you remember this is where they did the Maui food line. A lot of Maui food donations went out here during COVID. And here you can see the Samaritan's Purse car, you know, Samaritan's Purse trailers. Obviously, they're doing a huge effort here on Maui, which is really great. Samaritan's Purse, shout out to those individuals, all the volunteers that have helped over the last few years. Just a fantastic organization. Of course, this is the Waiola Church. Looks like they're doing first Sunday of the month at 10 a.m. services, probably outside would be my guess.
Maui real estate.
Hey, aloha! Yes, sir. I better get on the right side of the street here. It's kind of funny. This is the way my son Colton used to skateboard to church. I mean, to school. He went. You know, all my kids went to Sacred Hearts. So this was he'd be pushing his skateboard down here every morning. He was always on time. This is the Lahaina Hongwanji mission right there. Unfortunately, it did succumb to the fire, except for this beautiful structure here. But yeah, this was the way to school. Shout out to Sacred Hearts. Some nice structures up there. Nice two-story homes. 585. Looks like it was unscathed. And then this corner house right here, I'm kind of glad it didn't burn. We almost rented this house. We just didn't get there in time, right? Maui is like, if you want to rent a house, you better make the application right away, and we missed it. But thought it would be kind of cool with the big wraparound lanai and everything. Kind of reminded me of like the Walton's house for some reason. Good night, John Boy. Giving away my age there, aren't I? Prison Street. Yep, there's the prison. Nothing going on with the prison yet. And then this actually was one of my listings. We literally received and we're about to accept an offer on this property right here. The day of the fire. Oh, so sad. Because they had poured their heart and soul into that remodel. So here's proof that a completely concrete structure can burn, right? This is 100% concrete. This is the Maui Medical Building, and it is, you can tell, burned from the inside out. So apparently being concrete doesn't mean anything, really. So I can't go any further than this. Obviously, these are the barriers. I don't understand quite why that is, but so be it. But yeah, Prison Street. That, of course, is where Prison Street Pizza was. Did a couple videos for those guys. Thought it was the best pizza you could buy on Front Street. Oh yeah, I'm starting to overheat now, people. I'm getting hot. Oh man. All right, in the comments section, You guys got to give me some feedback. What do you think so far? Are you impressed? Are you underwhelmed? Quite frankly, I get down here, I get a little overwhelmed. Just the emotion of it all and the feelings, the memories that come back, and just the thinking about the loss of life, the loss of people's livelihoods, the loss of their homes, the loss of their loved ones, the loss of their investments. Just the tragedy of the day, the fact that there was no water. People don't even realize, you know what? The reason this town burned is because the very first structure fire up in Lahaina Luna, they had no water to put it out. They hooked up the hoses and there was no water. So that's why the town burned, is because there was no water to put out the first structure fire. Kind of makes sense, right? It's like if you're put into a fist fight and your hands and your feet are tied behind your back and you're hogtied, you think you're going to win the fight? Well, of course not, because you can't fight back. So in my humble opinion, this town was utterly defenseless, hogtied, unable to fight the fire because there was no water. So it's hard to believe that that was the case. Here we are at Ainanalu, condominium complex known as Ainanalu. Doesn't look like there's anything going on at Ainanalu. You know, why is that condominium complex not being rebuilt? I wonder. Nothing. Nothing. Zero. Now you're going to start seeing a lot of these things popping up around town. These lots have been leased by FEMA. And what's interesting about this, what the landowner probably didn't think of or didn't know, is that this property right here, this was a little shopping center, if you remember. There was a immigration attorney that was in there. There was oh, I can't remember the name. Hey! Yeah, I am. How's it going? Okay, good to see you. So this commercial piece here was probably, Penne Pasta was in there, was probably worth $10 million. Just the land. And because he's leased it to FEMA to put these houses on there, or whatever they are, he won't be able to take advantage of rebuilding with the SMA exemption, right? He's got to wait for this lease to expire, which is probably a 3 or 4 or 5 year lease with FEMA. So he's not going to be, so by that time, the exemption may not be around, and now he has to start with his entitlements and won't be able to take advantage of the SMA. So that'll put the rebuild of this particular commercial property setback. It'll delay it even longer, and the financial cost of that could be staggering, considering the pittance that he's getting from FEMA. I've heard it's maybe a couple $100,000 a year, and who's going to come live in these conditions? I don't quite understand it, but you're seeing a number of these pop up from FEMA, and I hope that they give the landowner the ability to continue to take advantage of the SMA exemption and let them build after the lease expires. But I don't know how fun it would be living in those particular structures. There's going to be a lot of construction going on in here for a long time, and dust, noise, etc., etc. So this is that area I was telling you about that you can come park, and then you can walk down to the street right here. And over there we have the Fleetwood's building. Again, concrete structure, but still burned from the inside out. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this updated tour, this walking tour. Even though I wasn't walking, I was rolling on the one wheel. In the comments, it is important that the community hear from you, the community of YouTube, the community of Lahaina, the community of Maui, the community of Hawaii, on your thoughts and feelings on what's going on here. And your support, obviously, is super important as well. Let's get the West Maui Mountains in the background there. So please do come to Maui. The messaging that you're getting from various organizations, even the government, I believe is not the will of the people. It's not how most people feel. most people like their jobs and like to earn income and make their rent and their mortgage payments, and it's a tourism-based economy. So I'm saddened to think that the mainland is turning their back on Maui. I'm saddened to think that the world is doing that just because of some social media leverage and some messaging that's not, in my opinion, the will of the majority of the people that live and work and rely on that economy. So tourism economy, that's what makes Hawaii tick. So why they would bite the hand that feeds, shoot themselves in the foot, is we all know the reasons, of course, behind that. But you can make a change. You can book a vacation here. You can stay in an apartment zone, condo. You can come stay at Lahaina Shores. It's hotel zoned. Not that you care, but it doesn't really matter. Just stay somewhere besides a hotel, because the hotels, I think, are kind of behind all this nonsense as well. It's the big money, it's the big fish, the big power, the billionaires, and the bought-off government officials. So you can do your part. Come and support, pray, leave a comment, subscribe, come to Maui, share the video. I'm just one guy doing what little I can, but I believe that together we can all make a huge difference. So thank you for watching, and before I forget, please don't forget to visit helpdaniel.org. I'm always shouting out Daniel. He's a fire survivor, lost his home on Front Street, and he's totally blind, and we're trying to raise $40K. It's taken me a long time. We're at about $20K for Daniel, so we're halfway there. So if you can go to helpdaniel.org, please give what you can. I always say give him $5, give him $7, but I know there's people out there that could give him $700, that could give him $7,000. I know you're out there, because I meet you guys all the time. So anyway, if you could give what you can to helpdaniel.org, please do so. This video is dedicated to him and all of the fire survivors and all of those that are rebuilding and all those that did not survive the fire. So my condolences to those individuals, those families, and prayers going up into heaven for those individuals. All right, guys, thank you. Until next time, Eric West out.